Hi guys, welcome back. I am LaShawn J and welcome to the season finale of The Hills season 2. Uh Timing is everything. So guys, let's get into it. Okay. So we head right back where we left off, okay? Palm Springs, Brody, and Caitlin. And, Caitlin tells him, yes, I'm pregnant. And he's just like asking about Chris. How well do you know him? How long have you been dating him? And, he's just saying he doesn't want to see her get hurt. And he has her best interest at heart. And, she was telling him, and he also says how hurt that he was being the very last person to find out. Everybody found out. Everybody found out. And he's like, you know what? We're close. We're friends. You come to the house all the time. You could have pulled me aside and just let me know what's going on. And she's just like, I was scared to tell anybody. I was even petrified of telling my mom and dad. And she's just explaining to him, like, it was a scary thing for her. She just started dating Chris. And it was just scary to tell him at the time. But you know what? He kind of understands. He understands, but he still has a little hurt. I saw a little hurt in there, Brody. So we see flashes of Heidi and Spencer. They're playing with crystals, chest crystals. I don't know. We see Caroline. She's getting a massage. Jason, Brandon, Jen, and Frankie are at the pool. They're all talking, having a good time. Everybody's enjoying their time at that resort. I'm telling you. Justin, he goes to sit down with the midwife, and he talks about him being a traveler and how he wants to. She explained to him, like, he wants to find love basically, but he's always on the go. And she explains to him, hey, you could find love while traveling, basically. And you need to start letting people in your life. Stop running away from them. Okay, Justin? So we see Heidi and Spencer. They're talking to Gunnar, and Spencer's asking Gunnar, hey, how would you feel if your mommy had a baby? You want mommy to have a baby? And, Gunnar's playing. He's just like, I want a baby named Table. And that part was so hilarious. Gunnar is so cute. He's so adorable. And he talks so well. But yeah, Heidi comes in and she's telling Spencer she's not pregnant again, and she's just stressed out, and she breaks down and she's crying, and she's like so stressed, and she's just not allowing the process to happen. She just keeps pushing it and being stressed about it when it doesn't happen. So it's very disappointing for her every time she goes and takes a test and she finds out she's not pregnant. And everybody around her is pregnant. Look, Caitlin's pregnant, Ashley's pregnant. Everybody's pregnant. So it's like pregnancy's in the air and she's just not catching it. So it's taking a toll on Heidi, for sure. So, then with the next scene we see everybody at the pool. We see Audrina. She's in this little floaty circle device, and she's hanging out talking to Brody. She was asking him about how did the conversation between him and Caitlyn go, and he was just telling her that he found out she was pregnant, and he's really worried about if he's a good guy, and it's just happening so fast. And I mean, everybody keeps saying that. I think Caitlyn knows that it's happening fast. Everybody don't have to keep reminding her. She knows this is happening very fast. But it's her life. So she's happy with her decisions she's making. So, hey, you like it, I love it. Okay? We see Chris and Caitlyn. She was telling Chris, about telling Brody she's pregnant and how relieved she is that she told him, because we could see how she wanted to tell him, but she just didn't know how to. So they talk about that. They talk about how Chris have not met Brody yet, and it's weird because she's gonna have a baby with him, and she hangs out with Brody all the time. They hang out in the same circle, so how come he haven't met him yet? And she's just like, yeah, you're gonna meet him. So she was saying, yeah, you're gonna meet him hopefully tonight at the rodeo. So we see Audrina. She was telling Brody, I have to go. I have to meet with the healer. She meets with a healer named Rachel, the one who was doing the little psychic healing on them in the last episode. She tells her she's trying to focus on herself, because before in the past she always put everybody first. So now she's trying to focus on herself. And the healer tells her to close her eyes and envision herself taking out all the swords from her back, because most of the swords, people will stab her in the back and then they keep a hold over her, and she just needs to let that go. And if I haven't been telling Audrina this through the whole season, I don't know what else I've been saying, because she didn't have to go to a healer. She could have just watched my videos. I've been saying the same thing to her. Hey, Audrina, you keep running in the same circle. Why do you have to keep dealing with the same people throughout your whole life? Let it go. I've been telling you to let it go all season. The healer ain't have to tell you that at that resort. You could have got that information from me for free. Right here, Audrina. Anytime you need some advice, I'm here for you. Okay? But yes, and I'm just gonna say I'm so proud of her, Audrina, for putting herself first. Putting herself first. Like the healer said, you have a great aura. Her putting herself first is the best thing. Leaving all the past in the past and moving on is the best thing for her. But yes, she says she's going to work on herself, and that's what she needs to do. I agree with you. Leave them behind, okay? So we see everybody start showing up at the rodeo. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks great. They got the bull. I remember getting on one of those things at a club. It was a mess, okay? I needed help to hop on top of the thing. The security guard had to help me get on top, and then as soon as I got on top of it, it felt like I was only on the bull for like 2 minutes, and I flew off. I was like, it was fun. We had a good time, but climbing on top of that bull is not easy. Okay, it looks easy, but it's not. Anyways, everybody shows up to the little rodeo. They got their little outfits on. We see Audrina and Justin, they're sitting down talking and saying that how they haven't been around so many pregnant people in one group setting. Everybody's pregnant or trying to get pregnant. So Justin was talking about, his manly internal clock is ticking and he is ready for a family. It seems like he's starting to get more mature and he's been talking about this all season. So I'm not going to be surprised if next season Justin pops up with a girlfriend and she's pregnant. I'm not going to be surprised. So let's see what happens next season, y'all guys. Just remember what I said. Justin, he's that baby making machine. He wants a baby. And he's ready for love and he wants to settle down. So I'm pretty sure next season he's going to have a girlfriend and she's going to be pregnant. Watch. But yeah, he's telling Audrina he's just ready for that family life. And she's saying, how he's matured a lot. And, yeah, Justin has matured a lot. He's home now. He's not running away from anything. He's ready to have a family. He's connecting a lot more with people. So letting everybody in. When he showed Jason where he grew up and talked about his mom, he's letting a lot in. He's not that bad boy, closed off person anymore. So it's like we grew up with the Hills, okay? We see Frankie and Brandon and Brody. They're talking about Danny. He misses Danny. He misses her a lot. And you could tell. He's constantly looking down, not feeling his self. So everybody starts, line dancing. And, Brandon is in the corner just sitting there moping. And he looks so sad. So the Danny situation is it's hitting him really, really bad. And it's sad. But he's only 25. He will get over it. Okay? It's a lot more Danny's in the sea, Brandon. It's a lot more Danny's in the sea. Trust me. A couple Halle Berrys. A couple Nia Longs. It's a lot more out there in the sea. You'll get over it. Just calm down. Try to have a little bit of fun. Luckily you went on this trip, because imagine you just being home by yourself thinking about Danny. You might went back and had a sip. So luckily you came to the trip. You're getting your mind off of her. You have people, loving friends around you to help you and support you get your mind off of her, and for you not to feel so down and depressed. But yeah, he was dancing and Caroline was like, hey, are you gonna line dance? And everybody turned around and noticed how depressed he looked. So they went and grabbed him, and Justin was dancing with him one-on-one, and he was just like, thank you guys, because he really appreciated it, because he was really feeling down. Everybody was coupled up and he was just lonely, thinking about Danny again. So we see Jason and Ashley, they're sitting and they're like, yeah, we really should go talk to Heidi and Spencer and just thank them for inviting us to the trip, because we're really having a good time. And I gotta say, this is why I wanted to invite. The last video, I told you I wanted to invite. I'm not playing. I really do want to invite. It's not just ha funny kiki. No, I need an invite. That trip looked great. I think that was one of the best trips through the whole season. It was just, other than Tahoe was a really good trip too. Brody did his thing with that trip. It was a lot of activities planned out for everybody. But that trip, a lot of group activities. A lot of group activities. And they were just mainly focused on relaxing and just cleansing yourself, and whatever you want to call it. That trip looked great. But yeah, she wanted to thank, Heidi and Spencer for the invite, and they ended up leaving. They ended up saying, when Frankie asked them about it, talking with Ashley and Jason, they said, you know what, we did say we welcome you here. We try to move on from the whole Tahoe situation. So they said, we did say that. We did welcome them. So, but, sometimes people want more and more. So Heidi was already drained because she was feeling down for not being pregnant, because she really thought she was pregnant this time, but she wasn't. And she still had to show up and try to have fun because it was her event. So, they decided to go in late. Heidi can't sleep without tucking and gunner. So they decided to leave. Ashley and Jason was a little upset because they wanted to speak to them, but like Frankie told them, it's not the last day. So yes, we finally see it. Brody meets Chris. So Caitlin's like, okay, I've been stalling this the whole night. I might as well go ahead and do it now. And she finally, boom, let Brody meet Chris. So she walks up, she's like, hey, I just wanted to introduce y'all. And, Chris says hi. Brody says, hey. He congratulates Chris, the baby. And he was just talking. He asked him a couple questions. He answered with like one-word answers. And it just looked really awkward. They had a really awkward conversation. Caitlin says, well, hopefully time will let them get used to each other, and because, hey, they're going to be in each other's lives from now on, basically. I mean, because I was going to say, I don't see how they're going to be in each other's lives from now on, but Caitlin's very close to Brody. She still hangs with Brody. They're still in the same circle. They're still taping together. And Chris is her baby daddy now. So they just gonna have to deal with it. I mean, the conversation was awkward. Chris doesn't seem like he's too interested in being friends with Brody. Brody doesn't seem like he's too interested in being friends with Chris. But they met, and that's what matters. And now Brody can move on. And Caitlin and Chris can move on with their life and their new baby. Ashley meets with a midwife the next day. She talks about the situation going on between her and Heidi and Spencer. And she tells them, she needs to learn that she cannot control other people's emotions. And everything these healers are saying, I've been saying that to y'all. Just listen to me. That's it. All you gotta do is listen to me. Nobody else. But yeah, like I was saying, Ashley, you have to let them, give them time, and when they're ready to come and talk and clear the air, they're gonna clear the air. You can't rush and have somebody clear the air when they're not ready to. I've been saying this the whole time, but she's finally getting it. So she meets with the healer. She explains to the healer she's been having anxiety and that, she's trying to control her emotions because she can't control other people's emotions. And, the healer gives her advice. She says that she's been wronged by so many people. That's why she always has to stand up for herself. And that's fine. Now I could understand why she's always seems like she's just so mean all the time. But that's what happens. So, yeah, the healer gives her advice. She moves on. Again, I could have told you that, you know, just control your emotions. You can only control your emotions. You can't control what nobody else emotions. You want to talk things out, they don't want to talk things out. Leave it alone. That's it. We see Chris, Justin, Brandon, and Jason. They're talking about, they were playing, I think it was tennis. It was at like a tennis court. They talked about Chris meeting Brody. He says, you know, Brody's a cool guy and he understands his place in Caitlin's life, and he was just nice to me. It was nice meeting him, basically. You know, Brandon talked about, you know, how he was feeling that night and how Danny was a big part of his life, and he was just feeling lonely at the time because everybody was coupled up at the rodeo, and just seeing all the couples there, he's just, you know, it just hurt. And from now on, he's gonna try to start loving himself. Self-love. He's gonna try to start loving himself, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of self-love. This retreat is teaching everybody, love yourself, but also tune in to LaShawn J and watch her reviews, and all this advice that you're paying this healer for, I was just giving it out for free. So, love thyself, but watch LaShawn J. Anyways, let me stop playing. So, the last night is here, and we see everybody's in all white. They're dressed up, ready to have a good old time, as always. They meet at the pool. Caitlin and Justin sit down, they have a talk, and, you know, he just congratulated her and, you know, let her know he's there for her, and sometimes people come into your life at different times and for specific reasons, you know. He also asked her, hey, do you know what you're having? And it's a boy. She's having a boy. Congratulations, Caitlin, on your baby boy. It's a lot of boys, because Ashley and Jason's are having a boy too. And yeah, she's having a boy. We're happy for you. You know, Spencer asked everybody to meet at the table so they can have dinner, and Jason and Ashley, you know, walked up to them and just told them, you know, we're really thankful for being here. We really had a great time. It was relaxing. It was good. And, you know, they talked about Tahoe, and Heidi was explaining to her, you know, I really didn't want you to be stressed out. You're pregnant, and if I'm just doing stuff to annoy you, you know, about the drinking situation. And they just basically buried it and let it go. Finally. Finally, it's gone. Hopefully. We don't know if things could trigger it back up next season, but this season, it is finally gone. Okay? The tension, the feuding, the arguing, the everything. It's finally gone. Finally. I told y'all, Brandon was doubting the crystals, but look at what the crystals did. They got everybody in harmony. Okay? So they finally talked. They hugged. You know, Ashley said, hey, she didn't mean to say anything to Heidi, but if she did offend Heidi, she really don't want it to ruin their relationship forever. So they finally hugged it out and talked, and everybody clapped. Everybody was happy, just like I am. We always happy. Give a round of applause, guys. We always happy that this feud is finally over. We don't have to hear about it no more. We don't got to talk about it no more. We have some more feuds in the future, but this feud right here is done. Okay? Stick a fork in it, it's done. So yeah, everybody sat down, everybody ate, everybody had a good time. Audrina sits down with Brody and she talks. They talk about the beef. There's like talking about how it's finally squashed and they're happy about it. Brody talks about Chris and how things are just happening so fast with Caitlyn, and he's still a little in shock. It seemed like still a little jealous. Still gonna have to get over it, but Audrina asked him about he was telling her, how the two of them are close, and it's like he was hinting like maybe he wants something to happen, maybe he don't. He doesn't know where he's at right now, anyways. And then finding out this about Caitlyn, he's just not there. And Audrina asked him about do he wants to be in love again, and he says he definitely wants to fall in love again. And Audrina was just like, she's not settling. She settled before, and she's not settling again because Brody's clearly not ready for a serious relationship. She has a daughter, and she doesn't have time to play games. And Brody has the time to play those games, and he has the time to waste your time. So, take this advice from me. Again, you don't need the healer this time. I'm be your healer today. LaShawn J, the healer. Okay? You made the right choice. Stay away from Brody. Okay? He's confused right now. He's going through a divorce. His ex is pregnant. She's moving on. And he's confused. He stopped drinking. He started drinking again. Stay away from Brody. Because he's just, like you said, Audrina, he's going through the motion. You just came from a divorce. You know what he's going through. So let him heal. He needs this retreat. He needed to see I didn't see Brody go see the healer. Now, one time. He's the only person that ain't go see the healer. He needed the healer. Him and Brandon needed the healer. They needed to be healed. Okay, everybody else went and got healed. But Brody and Brandon ain't go see the healer. Brody needs to go see that healer. Because next season, if he don't get healed, we're going to see all the unhealings that he didn't get healed. We're going to see it play out on the screen. Okay? So, Audrina, you made the right choice. Don't go back on it. Don't go back on it. Stay away from Brody. All right? I was so proud of you when you said you're not going to settle. And that's what I've been saying all season. Don't settle for Brody, because if you didn't settle for Sean, why would you settle for Brody? Why do you keep going back to the same thing that didn't work? It never worked out between you and Brody. Y'all always just stayed friends, and that was for a reason. It never worked out between you and Justin Bobby. Y'all stayed friends, and that was the reason. Just, you should have took your chance with Sean. Maybe you could go call him, apologize, take him out on a rooftop date, and make up for it. Because that was the best guy for you, but you ruined it. So now, just work on yourself, and that's just the best thing you could do. I agree with you. I was so proud. It's like, oh, she's listening to me, or maybe she's listening to herself. She was listening to somebody, but either way, we all was saying the same thing. The healer, me, and your inner self was telling me the same thing. Stay. But yeah, so like she said, she's not settling for less. She's not settling for less than she's worth. So Brody gonna have to find somebody else to mess up their life and their time. We see everybody eating, having a good time. Brandon jokes about him and Justin being in a relationship, since everybody's coming out just with things. Everybody jumped in the pool. Everybody, talked about what they learned throughout the season. We got a chance to meet baby Wyatt. I think Wyatt was his name, right? Yes, we met Wyatt, and he smiled for the camera. Baby Wyatt is camera ready. Baby Wyatt is gonna be on the up and coming seasons, because he was like, yes, he had his debut and he smiled. So cute. So yeah, that was a great season finale. I think everybody healed. Everybody came to amends with everything. It was not one fight on that trip. I mean, it would have been a better season finale if Heidi found out she was pregnant, because she wants to be pregnant. Caitlyn always wanted kids, but Brody didn't want any, and then she finally, her season finale, Ashley had, a miscarriage, and then she finally got to have her son. So it's just like, and then both of them are having sons. So it would have been a greater season finale if Heidi would have been pregnant. Because, I'm always rooting for Heidi and Spencer. I'm rooting for everybody, but, I mean, I'm not fair sometimes. But anyways, it was a great season finale. I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. I smiled through the whole thing. I was just happy, so happy that everything was squashed between Heidi and Spencer and Ashley and Jason. I really was happy about that. Now the kids could grow up together and have, play dates together. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy that everybody had their little happy ending. I'm happy Audrina finally smartened up. And I cannot wait for next season. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and join me back here on my channel for next season of The Hills New Beginnings. Okay? And until then, I will be coming with another show to review.